Land is not just a resource. It is the lifeblood of our continent. It sustains our economies, nourishes our people, shapes our cultures, and defines our heritage. From the smallholder farmer cultivating the land to feed her family, to the communities that have lived for centuries on ancestral soil, land embodies the story of who we are as Africans. It is through land that we derive food, shelter, livelihoods, and identity. It is on land that we build our cities, plant our crops, and raise our children. It connects the past, grounds the present, and holds the promise of a more prosperous and equitable future. Yet, despite its centrality to life and development, land continues to be a source of contention, inequality, and exclusion for many. Across the continent, challenges such as insecure land tenure, limited access for women and youth, historical injustices, rapid urbanization, and the growing impacts of climate change continue to shape Africa's development trajectory. If we are to achieve Agenda 2063, the Africa that we want, we must address these challenges head on. We must ensure that land in Africa is governed responsibly, transparently, and equitably, not only for economic growth, but also for justice, peace, and environmental sustainability. That's why land governance remains a cornerstone of the African Union's work. It underpins our efforts to advance food security, social inclusion, climate resilience, and sustainable livelihoods. When we govern land well, we build the foundation for a stable and prosperous Africa. It is within this context that the African Union Commission, together with our esteemed partners, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa and the African Development Bank, through the African Land Policy Center, convenes this Conference on Land Policy in Africa, known as CLPA. The CLPA is more than just a meeting. It is a continental platform for reflection, learning, and action. It brings together ministers, policymakers, land commissions, academics, development partners, civil society, traditional leaders, and youth, all working together to build stronger and more inclusive land governance systems. Since its inception in 2014, the CLPA has served as a unique space for African voices to shape policy, share research, and exchange experiences on the governance of one of the continent's most valuable assets, its land. Past conferences have explored issues ranging from land tenure security and corruption to culture, gender, and trade. Each edition has provided lessons that inform national policy reforms and continental frameworks. Over the years, the CLPA has helped inspire evidence-based approaches, strengthened institutional capacity, and built a shared understanding of Africa's land agenda. In 2025, we will once again gather for the 6th Conference on Land Policy in Africa, which will be held from the 10th to the 14th of November 2025 at the United Nations Conference Center in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The 2025 CLPA will be held under the theme Land Governance, Justice and Reparations for Africans and Descendants of People of African Diaspora. This theme calls us to look both backward and forward, to acknowledge the enduring legacy of historical injustice while envisioning a future built on fairness, recognition, and repair. It invites us to explore how land can become a platform for justice and reconciliation, while also unlocking Africa's potential for sustainable and inclusive growth. The 2025 CLPA will therefore provide a forum to discuss critical questions, some of which include: how can we strengthen the security of land tenure for communities? How can we empower women, youth, and vulnerable groups to access and control land? How do we ensure that land governance systems contribute to peace, climate resilience, and economic transformation? And equally, how can Africa and its diaspora reconnect through shared experiences and solidarity to advance a global conversation on justice and reparations? These are not abstract questions. They are real and urgently touching lives, livelihoods, and legacies across our continent. I therefore wish to extend a heartfelt invitation to African governments, regional organizations, research institutions, civil society actors, development partners, the youth, women, and members of the African diaspora to join us in Addis Ababa for CLPA 2025. I expect you to come and share your experience, your knowledge, and your solutions. Come and showcase innovations in land administration, policy reform, and community empowerment. Come and learn from others who, like you, are committed to building an Africa where land is a source of opportunity, not a division. The CLPA is your platform, a space for dialogue, learning, and partnership. Your voice and participation will help shape the policies and commitments that drive our shared vision for Africa's transformation. Let us therefore seize this moment to renew our collective commitment to good land governance, governance that is people-centered and inclusive, transparent, as well as just. Because when we get land governance right, we get Africa's development right. I look forward to welcoming you to Addis Ababa in November 2025 for the 6th Conference on Land Policy in Africa. Together, let us reaffirm our commitment to justice, sustainability, and prosperity through effective land governance. Together, let us also shape the future of Africa's land. I thank you.